Today I'm at the other place. For those of you who subscribed from Homesteady's channel, this is the cattle farm that I help out at occasionally. I come down about every other week or so to help my partner basically take care of the cows and learn. I'm still really new at all of this, and those big things really make me nervous sometimes. While I'm down here, I have the garden here behind me, which, if you saw my very first video, is the garden that's featured in that, where I was putting out the landscaping fabric to get the weeds down. Unfortunately, as some of you might know, 2020 has been an absolutely bizarro year for things happening. For the most part, I wasn't able to come down here until the end of May. My partner has recently had a bout with cancer and had some treatment in the beginning of the year, so it was just safer to stay apart because we didn't want him to get sick. So I wasn't able to come down here at all until the end of May. In the meantime, his son, who was laid off again due to the pandemic, came down here to live, and they worked on the garden, and yeah, it looks nothing like what I left it. And I mean, I'm sad. I'm really sad because I worked so hard to get the landscape fabric down and to get rid of the weeds. And I'll show you that here in a minute. But they ended up tilling it. My partner and I still have some different ideas on how to garden. He is a farmer and he does work full time, so he's got some ideas on how he likes to do some things, but he isn't so caught up in the whole permaculture realm of things, or even organic. So, you know, tilling is how you did gardening, and that's what he does. He tills the garden. Yeah, it replanted every seed and that sprouted. So the plan for next year is to start all over again. He really did not see how much it was going to weed up just by tilling it again. Plans are to, there's a local arborist that sells mulch, so we're going to hopefully landscape fabric it again and get the mulch in after that, so that we can start working on getting. Is so old that a lot of organic matter has not been put back into it, so it just turns into hard pan when it rains, which is why Chris likes to till it to loosen up the soil. I've been slowly educating him on adding organic matter, and then of course he's seen my garden and how it responds back home, so yeah, he's starting to understand that maybe I might know just a little bit about gardening too. So let me take you over there and show you what's going on with the garden. So this is part of the garden here. This is just a flower bed that I had weeded and pulled out and mulched, and it looked great. And yeah, this is what it looks like now. It's been so hot here that it's been really hard to garden because I'm not a morning person, and by the time Chris gets off in the evening, we're doing chores and whatnot, so I haven't had a chance to really garden. And here is the garden. It looks like his son planted some lettuce and kale. There were some, I think, radishes too, and that's all that's in here right now. And then obviously some sunflowers back there. We've already mowed this off once. Oh, there's potatoes over here too. We've already mowed this off once, and this bed is probably close to 50 feet long. and it just looks like lawn. So yeah, we get to try and do something with this. Yeah, the kale is taking a real beating from the moths. That's Bear. Say hi, Bear. Say hi. He is 5-month-old puppy. And then right here to my right is one of the cow lots. That's behind, back over that way is where the pasture area is. Unfortunately, we have a broken fence somewhere that we are in the process of mending before we can let the girls back out. He just has a small herd. They're beef cattle. We do have an Angus bull, so the calves are part Angus. And there's 4 of the girls. They are not tame by any means. We cannot go up and pet them. They will sometimes take corn from your hand if they're feeling very adventurous, but not very often. The one kind of in the back there with the star on her head, she is probably about the tamest of all the girls. There's 11 cows in this herd. They are all bred and will be having calves this fall, probably starting in September. Bear, come on. Come on, Bear. No, no. Bear, come. Come. Leave the cows alone. Being a puppy, he has now found that he can bark at them, which we're going to hopefully try to take advantage of that and maybe teach him a little bit of cow rustling skills. But we're trying to teach him not to do it anytime he likes. The rest of the girls are on the other side of this building. And then in this lot up here, we have the calves that were born last fall. And there's 16 of them. Five heifers and 11 steers, I think. Or it's the other way around. It's 5 and 11, and I don't remember which is which. They are also very apprehensive of the puppy because he likes to chase them as well. The other day we were feeding them some grain, and he chased them all around. It was hilarious and bad all at the same time. Babies! Babies! These hopefully will be going to market sometime this fall. And the steers will be, a couple of the steers will be in the freezer. This is where we get our beef at. They are mostly raised on forage. He grows hay, alfalfa, to feed them. The calves are in the pen, but they are grain finished as well. And here's all the hay that we've just put up this year. It's all wrapped. We've got 60 some odd bales out here right now. We were really lucky last year with all the rain that we had. We did not get the hay that we were hoping to have. So it's nice to have this much put up already. And there's the big guy. Currently he's shading himself in the shade of the corn bin there. He's my nemesis. I have not been able to get comfortable around him, and a couple times that I did, he decided to call my bluff. And he really is a big baby, I think, for the most part, as bulls go. Chris goes in there and he just walks away, but you have to be kind of able to stand your ground with him. And yeah, 2,000 pounds of muscle that, maybe one of these days I'll get it, but yeah, he is a big, big boy. And he is Black Angus. There's the crew. They think they're going to get fed. They're a little apprehensive of the little midget there. Good boy. You stay here. He likes to chase him, that is for sure. He thinks it's a great deal of fun. And the bull is just located here. And look at all of that chamomile. I've been growing some at home to add for tea and everything, and I did not know it was here in this abundance. It is incredible. Almost all of that is chamomile out there. Yeah, there he stood up. And then he's got this whole lot over here. I can't even see the whole thing for the grain bin. So you can tell this is just kind of a small operation here. His son is not really interested in continuing to farm, so Chris is the last one to be doing this here. He has no other children. He did lose a son about 5 years ago, but you know, it is what it is with that. So we've talked about trying to homestead here, but with Chris having some health issues and things like that, he's not sure if he's ready to take all that on. You know, we've talked about possibly doing rotational grazing with the cattle to improve the pasture, because it gets, even with 11 cows, the pasture area is not a whole lot for them. They can mow it down real fast. There's a lot of brush and trees that have grown up in the pasture that really need to be removed. You know, I have these grand ideas of the Justin Rhodes silvopasture thing that, you know, would require having some pigs or some goats, but, you know, when it's just him and I, it's really, really hard to try and manage that. There's approximately 160 acres here, and then he has another plot of 80 acres nearby, but that's just row crop over there. This is row crop, pasture, and CRP ground. So we were hoping to possibly do the CRP, include the CRP and take that out, but there's a whole thing with that didn't work out the way we thought it was going to. So yeah, this year has just been a topsy-turvy of so much for plans, and we're still not sure how that's going to end up. So hopefully we can figure it out and maybe get to keep the land, or, you know, maybe it's time for Chris to retire. And so yeah, this is my home away from home. If you have any questions, ideas, anything I can answer, leave it in the comments below, and maybe give it a thumbs up if you want to see something more like this. Have a great day. I love you all.